So far there have been 3 attacks against Russian airfields. They have revealed major vulnerabilities in Russia's air defenses and sent a signal to Moscow that its strategic assets far from the active combat zone are not off limits to the emboldened Ukrainian military. The psychological impact is also immense. The Russians are starting to realize that nowhere is safe. Something that has been in desperately short supply as it's Ukraine that has been pummeled without relent. For the Ukrainians, this is a small yet important fight back against the continuous Russian assault by air. If I can just take a moment to ask you to drop a like, leave a comment and to subscribe. Thank you very much. Officials in the Russian city of Kursk, just north of Ukraine, said the Tuesday drone attack set an oil storage tank ablaze at an airfield. The 2 airfields struck by drones on Monday were the Engels 2 base in the Saratov region and the Dyagilevo base in Ryazan, a few hours' drive from Moscow. They are home to long-range jet bombers that can carry conventional missiles used to target Ukrainian infrastructure but can also carry nuclear weapons and normally serve as an important component of Russia's strategic nuclear deterrent. So, what happened? On the morning of December the 5th, incidents were reported at the Engels 2 and the Dyagilevo airbases. At Engels 2, the initial report was of an unidentified unmanned vehicle falling onto the runway. In the process of doing so, 2 Tu-95 strategic bombers were damaged and 2 Russian soldiers hospitalized. There had been no warning, a complete and total failure in terms of Russian air defense. The Soviet-era Engels 2 airbase, named after the communist philosopher Friedrich Engels, is home to Russia's 121st Heavy Bomber Aviation Regiment, which includes the Tu-95 and Tu-160 strategic bomber squadrons whose missiles have devastated Ukraine's energy infrastructure. Based on the location of the airbase, which is 450 miles east from Ukraine, it is clear that its jets have played a major role in the recent bombings in Ukraine. At Dyagilevo airfield in the Russian city of Ryazan, another unmanned vehicle collided with a fuel tanker getting ready to refuel a bomber. The resultant explosion damaged the plane, killing 3 and injuring 6. The airbase in Dyagilevo, less than 150 miles from Moscow, houses the 121st Heavy Bomber Aviation Regiment whose jets are believed to have attacked Ukraine. It is also the base for Russia's only Ilyushin 78 Tanker Regiment, a strategically vital division responsible for the air-to-air refueling of the country's military aviation. Destruction of strategic bombers sounds good in the press, but if Russia loses Ilyushin 78 tanker aircraft, that might be the biggest problem for Moscow in terms of maintaining their refueling capabilities over Ukraine. It is widely accepted that the production of new tanker aircraft is notoriously slowly made worse by sanctions. Then one day later, another drone attacked Kursk airfield, which is an interceptor base, housing planes like the MiG-29 and Sukhoi 30SM. The attack left a fuel storage facility burning. The airfield is 175 miles from the Ukrainian border. The Kursk fire was burning some 10 hours after the attack, suggesting Ukraine had struck a major fuel supply point. The inferno covered almost 5,500 square feet and new teams of firefighters were being rushed to the scene, local media said. So, how did they do it? The current working theory is that Ukraine launched Stryz reconnaissance drones against the targets. The Stryz is designed to be recovered on completion of a mission using a tail-mounted parachute. The missile-shaped drone features small forward-mounted canards, a rear-mounted delta wing, and a KR-17A turbojet engine mounted above the tail. It has a cruise speed of 1,000 km per hour and a max range of 1,000 km at medium altitudes. According to the Russian press statement, the attacking drones were flying at low altitudes when they were brought down by Russian AD systems. A low-flying drone crashing on its target at high speed can only cause superficial damage, largely due to fire and flying debris. The use of reconnaissance drones would explain the lack of damage. Honestly, at this point I think this is the most plausible option. However, I have no doubt there are people operating against the regime from within Russia itself. The potential to have used other drones closer to the target and in the same way Ukraine is using drones against Russian troops is possible. Either way, the mental damage has been done. Ukraine has struck back, and it reminds of Churchill demanding the RAF to strike Berlin in retaliation for the Blitz. The damage caused was negligible, but it got the patriotic fervor going. Thank you for watching, and please do catch some of our other videos. Your support is always appreciated.